Argentina come from behind to defeat England and book a place in the World Cup final. Lionel Messi, once again, the star of the show for Argentina. The lineup is set then for Sunday's World Cup final. It'd be the best team in Europe, Spain, against the best team in South America, Argentina. The two will face off to see who will be crowned champions of the world 2026. It's taken us a long time to get here, but we now know it will be Spain against Argentina. Welcoming to the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Craig Burley, Steve McManaman, Frank Leboeuf and Santi Solari. England had it in their grasp, but threw it away as Argentina fought back to defeat Thomas Tuchel's side by 2-1. It was a horrible, disgusting first half of a match. Nothing happened. So many fouls, so scrappy, so unattractive. Things would get more interesting in the second half. We'd see Gordon open the scoring for England, but then they just sat back, invited the pressure, and in the end, the quality of Argentina shone through. A beautiful goal from Enzo Fernandez in the 85th minute, and then Lautaro Martinez coming off the bench to score after a beautiful Lionel Messi cross. Argentina back in the final, looking to defend their title, the first team to do so since 1962.
You threw the towel in, son, didn't you? You watched
it.
You didn't want to watch it with us, and then right at the end, you came into the room.
No, it was done, and it's a strange feeling, Macca, as an Englishman. We'll get on to the Argentinians in a minute, Santi, where you just feel, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Frustrating, angry, disappointed. Once England's broke the deadlock, went 1-0 up, everything was fine, everything was comfortable, and for some inexplicable reason, they dropped and they dropped and they kept on dropping until the defender in the 6-yard box. It wasn't even the penalty box, it was the 6-yard box at times. You're screaming, we're all screaming, Argentinian, France, Scotland, get out, get out, because as ex-footballers, you're looking at it going, Argentina are going to score now, they're going to score now. They hit the post twice with Alexis McAllister, yet they still did not get out of the penalty area and try and get up the pitch. I don't know why they did it, whether it was instructions off the side, which I don't think it was, because the manager would have hated that. I'm almost certain of it. I don't know whether it was just fatigue, tiredness, mental tiredness, thinking we're 1-0 up, let's just forget everything that we've done in the game and just defend our goal. But that was the reason why they lost the game, and those players will be so frustrated, gutted, like we all, well, certainly I am, watching that performance, because as you said, once they went 1-0 up, it was an even game, they had it in their hands, and for some reason, they let Argentina back into the game.
But surely Tuchel had to be on the technical area.
Well, he had to be.
As a coach.
He had to be. He had to be. Had to be.
But then the substitutes were kind of indicative of what happened in that second half once they scored. You know, it was a defensive substitution.
Yes,
you're bringing on defender, so that sets the kind of tone.
I can understand it in the Azteca when you're down to 10 men. You're tired. You've got the altitude. You've got a man less. You're trying to see the game out. But they're 1-0 up. They had Argentina where they wanted, and then they just drop. I can understand dropping off for 10 minutes at the end, but not half an hour.
No, I haven't.
And we all know in this tournament there's been probably an average of 7 minutes injury time, 7-8 minutes. So you're taking the best part of almost a second half. Yeah. Certainly 35 minutes of having to defend, of John Stones and Mark Gay and the rest having to knock balls away. McAllister hits the post twice. Nico Gonzalez brings a great save. Too many easy crosses into the box.
Into danger.
And they allowed this Argentinian side to do it. And when you allow an Argentinian side, when Rodrigo de Paul came on, some great balls. But I wondered whether the wee man, the magician, having Cape Verde, Egypt, Switzerland 120 minutes, gruelling games where they were out. They looked as if they were going to go out against Cape Verde, unbelievably. They looked dead and buried against Egypt. It was a nutritional game against Switzerland. At 39 years old, he was still the master of this game. Incredible.
No, I'm out of words, and I am out of breath as well. And just the opposite sentiments. I mean, so passionate the game in the last 30 minutes for the Argentinian perspective. So many emotions and the grit of that team that is losing. And from the 60th minute to the end of the game. Well, not to the end, to the scoring the second goal. It was just trying to tie the game with every with the last drop of blood and sweat. And I'm thrilled because I'm thrilled, not because of the result only, but because of how this team performs and how this team performs in adversity. I think we are. Nobody conquers adversity like us.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry to moderate a little bit what you're going to say, because I agree that the belief that the Argentinians have shown towards all the games that you were mentioning, and especially today for the last 40 minutes of the game, but it's due to the English. The English allowed that to happen. They gave the game to the Argentinians.
I like the positive perspective. I understand.
But in a neutral
Santi's French, you know that.
in a neutral point of view, I really thought that, as Craig mentioned, the English, they had the game in their hands, and as soon as they scored, they dropped, and they say, okay, let's see how it works. On the Enzo Fernandez goal, everybody but Jude Bellingham is going out to try to stop.
Yeah, and he had a shot before because the corner he comes from.
Yeah, but
from
still,
his
you can
shot
find
as
any
well.
excuses. I never seen that in my life when you see 8 players in the same line. That's insane. And we were all feeling that they should have gone out. And it's funny because after a 2-1, we saw England coming up.
I know.
And you say, how come we didn't do that before? That doesn't make any sense. So,
No,
yes,
it's okay,
I go back to your positive aspect of the game.
I understand perfectly.
Argentina did what they had to do. And they believed until the last second and the last...
But you know what, Frank? Every country wants to... And you can answer this question. Every country wants to win the World Cup. Of course they do. And every country's passionate about a World Cup. And we've all played. But I see something different with Argentina. I see that it means more to them. I don't know why, but it just seems as if it means more to them. It means... I'm not
It
saying
means
more
the
to them.
life.
It's
More life.
just when you see the Messi when they beat Switzerland in tears, he's won it all, and he's in tears. It just looks to this, and that's part of the process of the adversity in these games, is that for whatever reason it is, maybe it's the history or whatever, it seems to just mean a little bit more to this Argentinian side to get over the line for their country, and that's one of the reasons that they've been in the position that they've been in, and they've came back. It's not just Messi, it's guts, it's determination, and it's pride.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course, both views can live together. The emotions of the game, the emotional point of view, and the tactical point of view as well, as they were saying before, because it's true. This is true. What they are saying, that England scored the goal, and after they scored, they dropped too early, too deep, maybe. But it's easy. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, definitely. But I thought as well that the substitutions were very negative, because as soon as Argentina got the equaliser, England were never going to go up the other end and score a winner, because they had too many defenders on, they had too many centre-halves on, so it was just a matter of time before Argentina scored the second. Whether it was in normal time or whether it was going to be in extra time, Argentina were always going to win that game.
Yeah.
England, after 90 minutes when it went 1-1, we're just praying for penalties.
Yeah, was it
so negative. That was the problem.
Tactics that they work? Okay, we did it against Mexico. It backs against the wall. We did it against Norway.
Mexico just
Mexico,
don't
you
have
10
the
against
players.
11.
It's just naive though, because you can't do it against an Argentina side that have got the experience and the quality.
You showed fear.
Yeah.
You showed fear.
It was small team mentality.
Yes,
it was FA Cup third round. We've gone 1-0 up. And we are going to sit back.
Right now in that game, again, in a really neutral point of view, you feel that Argentina didn't win. It's England who lost that game. That's what
I don't like that point of view.
No, you can.
No, of course you don't like it. But the circumstances of the game showed me that you have the fear of winning it. It's why at 1-0, save it. Let's try to save it. No,
but where does that come from?
Far away.
You've got players on the pitch that have won titles, that won Champions Leagues, that have won Premier Leagues, Bundesligas. They've done it everywhere.
Yeah, but
so why
30 minutes.
Why does that click?
I don't know. The coach has to be responsible for that, because he has
Half an hour of sitting on the edge of your box.
Yeah, you have to get out. You have to get out of your bench and say, "Okay, guys, 15 more yards up.
Yeah.
Please," and yell I was seated, and I was yelling to Gay and Stones to get out.
Up, yeah.
And nobody was moving. They were walking up.
It was so noticeable.
Yeah.
You know, you can drop. There's no problem dropping and being defensive-minded, not taking any chances. But you don't drop 40 yards into your own box.
Crazy.
You get to the edge of your box and go, right,
Even Argentina didn't do that at the end for the last
we are
injury
going
time.
10 yards up, and then you defend in a shape, in a block, but 10 yards out of your penalty area. But then England were clearing the ball to nobody, and then it was just coming right back into the penalty area again, and that was the only thing.
You're sitting back. You're sitting back to defend, and then your only out ball is Harry Kane, who isn't going to run away from anybody.
No,
so
but
if you're sitting that...
Harry Kane's on the edge of the box.
You need somebody... If you are going to play that way, you need somebody up who is your further forward player that's got a bit of pace to be able to get onto that out ball. They didn't have that. Look, name me a Mexican player that was going to cause England a problem when they were sitting deep. Can't name one.
No.
No, you can't. It was a few hopeful crosses into the box. Dan Burn headed it away.
Yeah.
It was relatively comfortable. You can't do that against Lionel Messi and this Argentina.
I was very upset with the two centre-backs because it has to come from them. Right. Remember the remontada that we called with Barcelona against Paris Saint-Germain? Thiago Silva and Marquinhos were there. They dropped like crazy because they were scared. And Unai Emery was the coach at the time, yelling at them coming up. They don't want to go. And they've been punished like crazy. That's exactly what I felt.
Explain to me just that mentality, Frank, as to why, as
it's
a
emotions.
centre-back...
It's not a mentality. It's the fear.
The fear. It's only the fear.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They're trying to shut the gap between themselves and the goalkeeper, so nothing gets played in. They're getting all the players in front of them to drop onto their toes, so there's no space to play through, and they end up just retreating and retreating and retreating. But it's just chance after chance after chance.
Who was going to run away from them?
There's nobody.
But when you're a small team and you have the fear of losing, what do? You park the bus. It's what happened.
I understand that, but not for that amount of time.
No.
As soon as Montiel and De Paul entered into the field, they started
going. Yeah.
Fico from the other side.
How many bring on Lautaro Martinez?
I mean, Pickford made a good save once, didn't he?
Yes,
down low.
Gonzalez.
And then Gonzalez had one, and then McAllister should have scored and hit the post with the header. Had another one. It was like, how many times you need to see something to change it? But it wasn't. It was just like, let's keep on doing this and hopefully they won't score.
What is funny that they got, on top of it, they substituted some players, Argentina, for De Paul, Otamendi. They put the veterans in there. And you say, wow, okay, that can be, that's if they have that on the bench, should be easy.
But you have to give credit to the Argentinians.
Magnificent.
Because of the persistence, because of the grit, because of the belief, because of
and
the quality of
and they never panicked.
No.
They just kept chipping away. Even with McAllister, he should have scored with that header that came off the post.
Yes.
From the Rodrigo.
And when he hit the post.
Yeah, twice,
I mean, that was
twice.
I mean, Messi was just out of the ordinary, wasn't he, in that second half? When they really needed him, when they were 1-0 down, where's our best player ever, whether it's Diego or him? Where is he? And he just took the game by the scruff of the neck, with 35 minutes to go, plus injury time, and just made chance after chance and did things quick and ran and played lovely passes. Hardly lost the ball.
Crosses with the left, crosses with the right.
God.
As soon as he starts doing that, somebody might as well just go and stand on him. You know, you might as well just man-mark him because he's too influential. And then he goes past two England players in the 95th minute and puts in a right-footed cross to the head of Lautaro Martinez. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Bellingham gave Messi a little bit in the first half.
Yeah.
And you could argue Bellingham was England's best player at this tournament. He was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
What rate,
amazing
what rate, goals, everything.
Personality. Yeah.
He showed his true colours at this World Cup. But he gave Messi a little bit. You can see there was a lot going on in that first half, as you mentioned. It wasn't very pretty.
And Messi gave him the nod, wasn't
and
he?
Messi gave him the old... I know how you give him the old... We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. And that's kind of... He's got that boss mentality, hasn't he? He doesn't like jib away. He just gave him the nod and went... Wait to the end of this game and we'll see.
You know, we have to give credit to Scaloni because, as well, we were wondering why Lautaro Martinez was still on the bench, and he came on after 80 minutes. And you say, well, that's a little bit too late. You know, you're losing. And the guy scored the winning goal. Everything was perfect. The belief, the mentality, the fight, everything, and he anticipated everything. So, well done to the Argentinians.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm just frustrated with the England performance full stop.
Best team won.
Yeah,
There's
but the best,
argument.
absolutely.
And you can't talk about referees
no,
or
the
FIFA
best team won.
influence or anything like that.
Best team of the second half, because the first half,
I've already
the first
forgotten
half
the
was
first
nonsense.
half,
But
yeah.
yeah, Argentina were the
could
much
have been,
better
this
team.
is the thing. England
better
could have,
players.
England could have been the better team.
No.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the problem.
Yes.
They because we were talking.
gave up.
They looked as if they had a bit more composure about them, a bit more pace and physicality going forward. But it just looked like the goal stunned them into going onto the ropes.
Stunned them into.
And if anything, I was thinking, right, England will get a second goal here.
Yeah.
They go long, pick up the second balls, get balls in the box. And
Once the ball was cleared, no one's clear it.
No. We'll be here all day. We'll be here all day. I mean,
it's true that England couldn't manage a single counter-attack.
No. Santi, even when they went 2-1 down, England never made a chance. Even when it was 2-1 down, and then Argentina, it was just long ball. It was too late.
They had 5 or 6 defenders.
Just panic stations. It was just no.
But even from the goalkeeper's point of view, you're talking about squeezing up. We don't want to be too negative because it was a great second half from Argentina. But even from Pickford's point of view, he started messing around with the ball after they went 1-0 up, and Mac and I were going, just get that ball long, and then scream at your defenders. Come on, even if it's 10 yards, doesn't have to be 30. Even if it's 10 or 15, it's a little bit further up the field. You can.
England
squeeze.
managed those spaces much better in the first half.
Yes.
They didn't allow Messi to receive in front of the box. And
Exactly.
that's the second time it all changes after the goal. That's why I think it was less tactical and more emotional that they dropped so deep.
But I was showing to Stevie the first half how the lines, in English lines, they were so close to each other. So it was very hard for anybody in the middle of the park, even for Messi, to get any spaces. But that changed dramatically again after that first goal. That's why we have to ask Thomas Tuchel, what was the plan? Because why did you drop so deep? But why? Was it tactical? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Santi, talk to me about Messi.
What a bad player.
I know
we grew up with
It's a team
Maradona.
sport.
It's a team sport, Santi. It's a collective, Santi.
We grew up with Maradona, and we're not going to have that conversation. But you never think you'd see someone like that again.
No, but there are no more words about this player, because everybody thought now in this World Cup, which is his third final, by the way, statistically better than Maradona. Of course, that is undeniable because it's objective. Then there's a big debate in Argentina about who was better. If you ask the past generations, they would say they would defend that Maradona and Messi. I would put them, the two of them together up there.
And I think that's okay.
And you think that's okay? I think that's fair. But doing what he's doing in this World Cup, at 39 years old. I think that's out of the wildest dreams of anybody, any analyst, any player, any fan. What we are witnessing in the world of sport, I mean, not only Argentinians, is something unique and something I don't think we'll ever see again.
But Santi, when you've got Mbappe and you were talking about Kane, you were talking about Bellingham, we were talking about Messi, of course, as well because of his goals.
Yeah, but he's
at 39, the most important stage to rescue his nation, he's done it yet again.
Yeah.
And this was I know he scored in other games and he didn't today, but this was the most influential game I've seen him in a long time in an Argentina shirt. I know they won Copa America, but this is the most, he really stood up and said, right, come with me. I'm going to show you.
He looked knackered against Switzerland, didn't he?
Yeah. And I thought he was exceptional today.
But he's the great.
His movements is exceptional.
He's been doing it for 20 years plus.
Yeah.
And I know Ronaldo, Portuguese Ronaldo, has been.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Another super, we have the stars and we have the mega superstars.
I don't think you'll ever see two players at the same time
challenge each other
with those stats. And I've loved watching them both, commentating on them and all that sort of stuff. However, Lionel Messi is the greatest player I have ever seen. From, personally.
But we've all played football.
Yeah,
and we've all had 39 years old already. So we know both things. And we know how difficult it is to play football at 39 years.
39, I know.
Because none of us were playing.
It was difficult at 29. Difficult at 29 for me.
We had the lifestyle of Mr. Burley.
Well, I just think for me, I'm not comparing and contrasting. I've got no interest in doing that. I just think personally, he's the greatest I've ever seen at doing things on the field, all over the field. whether it's goals, whether it's assists, whether it's passes around the corner, whether it's beating players individually, whether it's taking a nation on your back. I mean, he could go back-to-back World Cup winner. That'd be incredible. And I know we're going to get to Spain in a bit, but I was looking at these two sides thinking, I don't think any of them could beat Spain in the final. But actually looking at Argentina... and
they certainly got the better chance.
And adversity. But they're going to have to put Lionel Messi back into whatever they put him in 4 or 5 days ago.
In the fridge.
In the upper part.
I mean, what was good is that, as you rightly said, Dan, there was no nonsense today, no refereeing
No one can look at Infantino.
This should have been a penalty, that should have been a red card. Today, even though I'm gutted about England, it was a lovely ending because the best player on the planet has just decided the game, hasn't it? It's just decided where the semi-final lies. And, you know, you've got FIFA ranked number 1 against FIFA ranked number 3, and they both deserve to be there. There's no hard luck stories. The two best teams have gotten to the final.
At 39, that guy can end up Golden Boot if he scores another goal.
Sure, he could end up Ballon d'Or, by the way.
Why not? I
Wins the World Cup. We could have that conversation.
Let's see. That's another conversation we'll have in October. You're going to bother me for 2 months about that, though. But he can finish champion of the world again and Golden Boot. 39 years old.
Yep.
Amazing.
What does that mean for his MLS Cup chances? Gab and Jules will be with us after this show to record their podcast. Jules predicted a France-England final. Well done.
It wasn't wrong.